Hey everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the absolutely uncontrollable chief of cereal and Sigilite of the FLG, Nicky Dee Cannon, flannel fan and producer extraordinaire, and I am Seth, the Mad Dok, the poor schmuck that is tasked with trying to control Kicker some days.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
also
dude.
your competitive correspondent.
Sorry.
How have you been doing, guys?
I'm doing wonderful, guys. Hey, if you're listening to our podcast, please consider watching us live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to be part of chat and see the cool visual elements like our weekly hobby progress, and people bask in the glory that is Krieg infantry. Look at that. That is
Bask in the glory of Earth Tone Guard.
It's like there's like a lot of shades of like brown though, right? There's like a lot of there's highlighting on that brown. So this is my desert camo, deathcore Krieg, French Foreign Legion deserts vibe. I don't know. I love these models so much. This is my second blob of 20. And Seth, I believe we talked about this previously. I had a New Year's resolution, which was to complete these. So there we go.
You did good.
Done. I am very stoked to have these guys on the table. So this is my second blob. Now I have 40, so two big blobs of 20 Krieg, ready to fight for all that is
fight
good
and
in the
die for the Emperor, because that's what.
But yeah, no. It has been a hectic week, but I am happy to get some hobby progress done. Seth, what about you, my friend? Have you gotten something done?
I have been, getting back on the hobby bus with the Necrons. If folks remember, I actually painted this was painting this army years ago for our former host Shelby. I'm Now that I own the army, these are mine. I'm adding to it. I'm trying to get them together to take them to Cherokee. So I've done up 10 Immortals here. I was just telling Nicky Dee prior to us getting on air that, I'm just kind of going through the struggles of getting back into painting that scheme. And, a lot of my paints were dried up and I had to find new ones. And it's been a struggle because I use Turbo Dork as the main base and they're currently on a break because they're remixing paints or something crazy. And so I've been, just trying to get through it, but watching lots of movies and TV shows in the background while painting, playing some games with Necrons, because obviously I also have to figure out a list for Cherokee. So just been chugging along on that train. Got these guys done. As soon as we get off the air tonight, I'll probably be back downstairs with the airbrush in my hand.
They're looking good though, man. They're looking good. I really like the orange pops. It really does.
Yeah, I like the orange.
I like it. Let's bring in Nicky Dee. Nicky Dee, what have you been up to, my friend? What's going on?
This is going to be surprising to folks, but I am also working on Necrons.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I started Necrons in 9th edition when they came in the starter set, and I played them at the first Cherokee. So I'm a longtime Necron player, not just a bandwagon fan, but a lot of my Necrons are.
Hey.
Seth.
I'm not saying you are. No, Seth, you are also. You've had that collection. Neither of us are bandwagon.
Yeah, you guys are long time Necrons.
All right.
You had old metal Necrons, I believe. Both of you guys, right? Just
I don't have any metal. I just have new. But yeah, but the Necrons I have, the Necron army I have.
Me some metal Necrons right now.
Yeah, my Necrons are basically Necrons that were good in 9th edition. So I have a lot of Scorpec destroyers, a lot of warriors, and some of those characters. So I'm not sure I'm gonna have my Necrons ready in time for Cherokee. I'm not betting on it, but I'm still working on them. These are 6 Ophidian destroyers, so they're the ones that have the long tail instead of the Scorpec destroyers. So I've been enjoying them. Also been watching some movies and things. Seth, I actually watched Ghostbusters Afterlife this past weekend. It's the Ghostbusters movie from 2021 with Paul Rudd. Or he was in a lot of the commercials and previews for it. He's actually not in the movie all that much, but I have to say it was a really good movie. Right. And as someone who loves Ghostbusters, like, it is one of my favorite, the original movie, the original 1980 whatever movie it is, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and this was definitely the second best Ghostbusters movie I've seen by far. So if you're sitting down to paint out there, anybody this weekend, Ghostbusters Afterlife, get on it.
Got it.
That's my recommendation. So,
guys, I'm listening to the book Dead Man Walking. It's a Black Library book about Deathcore Krieg, and guess who the bad guys are? Necrons. We need to get a game in Cherokee. My Krieg masses versus your evil robots. Are there actually there's a few books about Necrons, right? We got there's one of the more recent ones. What's Infinite and Divine? That's a Necron one, right?
Yeah, sure, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, who knows? All right, let's jump into some.
The lore is their space robots. Just don't think too hard, okay?
Yeah, right. Yeah, soulless space robots. Let's jump into some news, folks. Starting off Games Workshop, the most important news: CRoOT Hounds. Yes,
All right.
CRoOT Hounds have been released. Well, not released, shown off officially. They're coming in a pack of 5, at least based off of the limited information we have, and they look amazing.
Victor's already pre-ordered about 40, I think.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they go up for pre-order, I will be getting max units, as many as I can. I love all CRoOT, just going all deep in them. Seth, you are the, I guess the designated Tau expert, since you have played Tau at one point in your life.
I have.
CRoOT Hounds, have they ever been really, A tier? No, they've always just.
Oh yeah, no, they've been very useful. Some previous editions, they were I think it was 9th edition. They made them extremely cheap for units of 4, and so they worked really good for kind of blocking things out or going to grab objectives. So they were definitely kind of very useful as a skirmisher. We'll talk more in our main segment about what I think the Tau Codex actually needs. But they've definitely always kind of been a skirmisher role for
a low point investment skirmisher. Yeah. And from the rule they previewed, it looks like they'll have advance and charge capabilities, which we all know is powerful. Even if they don't do much damage, being able to move that far is always fun.
Yeah, you just got to be careful about what you charge, because they usually were not super durable.
Okay, so you're saying they used to not be super durable. That was the old models. Can we compare the old models to the new models? The old models were lean, lanky. Let's call them
they looked more like the
greyhounds,
the street dog that was starving.
Mangy.
These dogs look like they have been jacked up.
Yeah, these are like the pit bulls to the greyhounds of past. Yeah. So Seth, do you think, purely based on the aesthetics, because we have no more information than what we're looking at here, these photos, the lean greyhound, racing dog versus the buff pit bull bulldog look, do you think they're going to get a different stat line? Do you think they're going to be tougher, more durable, more aggressive? No, you think that's just an aesthetic thing?
No. Okay. I think, at least from a design concept, they've been pretty, consistent with CRoOT over the editions, that their durability is not from they're actually being able to take a hit. Their durability is usually from them hiding from being shot.
Strategically hiding and redeploying. I believe the stealth keyword is critical to them currently, right? That's
and they used to have like rules where if they were near forests, they got better saves and that kind of stuff.
Let's phone in Nicky Dee real fast. Nicky Dee, do we like the lean look of the old CRoOT more, of the CRoOT Hounds, or the buffer doggios now? You're a dog lover. I believe you have a hound or two. What do you think of these guys? Do you like the lean ones or these nice buff ones we've got?
Oh, these ones are much better. The aesthetic's great. Definitely true to what you'd expect from the lore, the narrative, and what they are, but just an evolution of it. So I'm a big fan of it. I don't play Tau. I don't care for Tau personally, so I'm not going to pick. I love dogs, but I'm not picking up these. I'm not adopting or rescuing any of these into my home.
Well, I had to get your hot take on the aesthetics of the models, man, because it seems like everyone's really stoked about these buff doggos. I kind of really like the older minis because I have a dog that looked like them, like a lanky hound dog that, I don't know. So the new ones, they're cool, but they don't look like my dog anymore. So it makes me a little sad. All right, let's jump into pre-orders. These are pre-orders going up for this, I guess this Saturday, they're going up for pre-order. Black Library is doing a bunch of stuff. Seth, take it away. You got to take this one, man. This is all for you.
This is the lovely, the beautiful Ufak Blackhawk, which is one of the new characters that they're introducing in the big Daka book. So I'm kind of excited to see that. Now, I originally was kind of under the assumption, hey, this is a Black Library novel. It's model. It's awesome. I'm going to order one Saturday. Don't you worry. But it wasn't going to get, in my mind, it wasn't going to get rules. And then someone pointed out Uriel Ventures got rules, and they're pretty good.
Okay,
he's in a lot of
is his rules actually good, Seth, or are they just
he's like a cornerstone for John Lennon's list.
So there's a female commissar from let's call it 8th edition, 9th edition. Yeah. And her rules were kind of poo-poo, but she did get a model. It was kind of poo-poo. And then you have Minka, a relatively newer character from the Guard, and she did get a model, but she did not get rules. So who knows, man?
I don't want that negativity in my life. I want rules for my new orc character.
Okay, sorry.
Now, that being said, when we jump ahead to the next segment, there is some preview images out there of like another orc mech character. So certainly, I think this guy, even if he doesn't get his rules, Ufak probably be used as a stand-in for that other character.
Okay, Seth. Right now, don't think about it too hard. Give this thing some rules. Or is it a shooty? Is it a shooty warlord kind of thing?
Yeah,
Give me
he's
some
got a
basic rules.
shock jump dragstick gun without the
Oh,
squig.
yeah.
So give it, strength 8, neg 3, d6 damage. Give him 2 shots. He'll hit on 5s because he doesn't have the squigs.
Yeah.
And then he's got a decent little hammer. So, do some damage with that.
There we go, guys. There you got it. Does he have any cool aura or buff? Is he giving +1 to hit to his?
So this is
big
the part
boys?
I'm struggling. I don't know what unit he would join because I'm like,
Yeah.
he's got a gun, but a hammer.
Yeah.
The gun units don't want to be punching very much. Flash gets already have a lead character. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling. Maybe, maybe he'd be hanging out with some of the Ludas.
Yeah. Okay. I see it. I see it. All right. We don't only just have orc goodness going up for pre-order this weekend. We've also got some Age of Sigmar. I'm just going to call them the Overlords. These are the air fly, the airplane dwarves.
Overlords.
There you go, Carlodron Overlords. So it's kind of cool. We're getting a book about these
space dwarves in fantasy.
Space dwarves and perfect. Well, they're like steampunk space dwarves in fantasy. Yeah, perfect. And this is what's really exciting, at least for me, all the releases going up this weekend. Riders of the Dead. This is a Dan Abnett. You know him, you love him. He wrote all the Black Library books. I believe he wrote the last Siege of Terra book. Awesome author. He's writing an old world book about Bretonnians. So that, I don't care if you like old world or not. It's going to be good. So check that out. And then another orc book, Seth. I mean,
this one's already been out. They're
Okay.
just republishing it in a trade paperback, I believe.
Okay.
Because I've read Ghazghkull Prophet of the Wog in the hardback.
Okay. Cool.
I think they're just republishing, and it was like limited edition hardback kind of thing. So I think they're just republishing in a common trade paperback.
Yeah,
but it's a very good story. This was the one where there was all kinds of craziness. It was basically an Inquisitor has captured Makari and is interrogating Makari about Ghazghkull surviving being decapitated by what was that Space Wolf character? Do you remember?
Oh wait, the Ragnar?
Ragnar Blackmane, yeah. Ragnar Blackmane decapitated Ghazghkull when he was this old model, and the new Ghazghkull model we got was post-decapitation. And so basically the Inquisitor was like, how? He was dead. Now he's bigger. What's going on here? So it was kind of a cool story.
And it looks like we're getting a bunch of other books in different languages, which is always fun. I always feel bad for the people in like Germany or France or maybe even Australia because they have basically a different language there. Sorry, Australians.
Wow. Sorry, Matt Morisole, if you hear this.
Sorry, I'm just teasing, buddy. I'm teasing. Box and I had not lunch. We had dinner the other day. My wife and I took him and.
You do realize Box is not from Australia, right?
No, he's from the UK.
Okay,
but it was
I was like, make sure we know where the story's going. But
he's from England. But it was so funny because we all speak the same English language, but it just some of the words like he was laughing at how we said banana, and he's like, it's banana. It's just like anyway, it's always fun to see the different ways we say things. All right, moving right along, let's talk about some Frontline Gaming news. The Cherokee Open is coming up, and did you know it's an achievement dice event? So if you didn't get any achievement dice at LVO, you can get them at the Cherokee Open. Those are the Baron of Dice, beautifully created exclusive dice just for us.
Black.
So sexy, right? Yeah, Seth, you might have to hand out a few because I think that Adam
Can I
on
just
site
keep them for myself to roll.
No, you can't give yourself one. You have to give. I'll give you one. Dress as an orc, and I'll give you.
I'm probably playing Necrons for Cherokee.
Dress as an orc, damn it. Okay, dress as a Necron, and I'll give you the fluff bunny one right there. But yeah, so we'll have those dice available for you to earn. You cannot buy them, Seth. You cannot bribe us for them. You have to earn them. If you need to know more about the Achievement Dice program brought to you by Baron of Dice, check out our website. It's pretty easy to find the page. All right, following that, we've got the Rocky Mountain Open. That's in March. I'm very pleased to say that local leader, Mr. Brandon Roddy, he's one of our judges. He's going to be officially one of our judges. This guy is amazing. If you're not from Colorado, you may not know the guy, but if you were LVO, you definitely saw him hustling around the entire venue. He was helping with setup. He was helping with strike. And then Thursday night during registration, he was the guy back there making sure you got the right t-shirt size and stuff. Super, super awesome guy. Nice. So that is really cool to see that we're having this guy that has helped on so many levels now becoming one of our team.
Good to see.
Yeah. Oh, and then Champions Cup. guys, that's the big team event. That's the massive 500-person team event that's taking place in September. As of today, literally 3 hours ago, we are officially working on the final player packet. Mr. Sean Naden and Stephen Corrales are beginning to work on the format and the terrain layout. So stay tuned. That packet will be coming out. We're aiming for March, the formal player packet, but more information will be going out to all the team leaders sooner than that. And Seth, I don't know if this was you or Nicky Dee who added this to our notes, but it's happening. Secondhand store. Who wants to take it? It was you. Take it away.
So yeah, if you've been on the Frontline Gaming shop for the last week, there was a banner at the top saying, hey, we're going through and we're restocking our secondhand store, which is a lot. There's a lot of secondhand product in the FLG warehouse. So I checked back. It's done. For instance, I was looking at Necrons, clicking on just secondhand items. There's 8 pages of Necrons on the secondhand. Insane. There was like 6 or 7 pages of Tau. There was like 5 pages of Orc. So lots of secondhand models, always at a good price. So always, if you're looking for something, like if I'm ever looking for something, like I need, 5 more death marks, that's probably where I go look first to see, hey, are they in the secondhand shop? If so, I can grab them at a discount and get them sent my way. So just thought, I know the guys behind the scenes that have been working hard to do that restock. So I, thought it was worth, shouting out to them that their job is done and it's now all up on the website.
Yeah, and you will see not a large portion. You'll see a portion of the secondhand shop at Cherokee as well.
And it's always the craziest stuff that gets pulled out. Yeah. We've seen like third and second edition of boxes pulled out in the past.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
When I was going through the Necron ones, all the Necron characters they discontinued that are in Finecast, they're all like new and blister in the secondhand store now.
So what we tend to do at the event side. So the event side, like I don't really handle the secondhand shop unless it's at the events, and then I'm kind of involved with that. But what we're trying to do is not do pre-built miniatures as much or anything that's painted. The secondhand shop at Cherokee, at Rocky Mountain, at our events tends to be new on sprue models, and that's it. So there's which is good. Some people want that. Like I specifically only am looking for that. If you're looking for like the super good discounts on models that are already built and assembled, and they just need to be repainted or whatever, those are all going to be on the secondhand shop online.
Yeah, I think like a while back when I was trying to find the reanimator, because you can't get the reanimator outside of the CRoOT kit.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I was able to find in the secondhand shop some reanimators on sprues.
Cool, very cool.
So it's a great kind of thing to dig around in those to find some of those models that maybe are only sold in larger kits that you don't need the rest of everything else.
And finally, in other Frontline Gaming news, we should say that this is the last week to back Blood Throne. That is that amazing game that was released at LVO. It is on Kickstarter currently. This is the last week to back it. You want to take advantage of it.
It is funded. It's going to be produced. It's happening. So if you want to hop on board, now's your chance. Looks like a lot of fun. The models are fantastic. They're by Creature Casters. So I've been enjoying looking at those. I know some folks that have actually only backed, like there's a way you can back for just certain models. So they've just been backing for models. But yeah, definitely worth taking a look, checking out. This is like for the OGs out there, this has been like Reese's baby and passion project for a while. So excited to see this kind of come full circle for him.
All right, we're gonna call in Nicky Dee. Please, man, tell us what's happening in the nerd world. Give us some pop culture news, man.
All right, a couple things for this week that I've pulled. And 2024, we saw the writer's strike. We saw the actor's strike. We knew it was going to have an impact on some shows and movies. If you're a fan of a couple of Netflix shows, in particular Stranger Things and Wednesday, the Addams Family show, both of those, Stranger Things season 5, Wednesday season 2, have both been pushed back until 2025. I'm not that upset. I'm actually a season or 2 maybe behind on Stranger Things. Like I loved the first season, thought it was kind of cool and interesting, but it didn't necessarily keep up that same type of pace. So that part, I've got some more time to catch up on. Wednesday, I love Addams Family. Like Addams Family 2, Family Values is one of my favorite holiday related. It's one of my favorite holiday related movies. This series, the Wednesday, I really liked it as well. So that part to me is a bit of a bummer, but we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. Other item I will call out, and this falls into the nerd news category. Like myself, there are many Warhammer fans that are fans of metal. And if you're a fan of metal music, or Necrons, Seth, they are metal, obviously. But if you're a fan of metal, you probably know the show Metalocalypse and its band Deathclock. Well, just this week they announced that they have a U.S. tour. I actually need to buy my tickets tomorrow so that I can see them here locally in Maryland. But
cool.
if you have not seen Deathclock before and you are a fan, definitely check out if they have tour dates around you
Nicky
and
Dee,
go.
would you do anything for Deathclock?
I'd die for Deathclock.
Yeah.
Good
I
answer.
die for Deathclock. Yep. They're also opening for them is Dragon Force.
Oh, that's
famous
pretty,
for Through the Fire and the Flames and the song that was on Guitar Hero 3. I've seen
them live once before. You have to have good audio in the venue, otherwise it just turns into garbled mush.
Yes. So Dragon Force, Deathclock. I'm very excited for a Tuesday night in April.
Kicker, tell us about the metal shows that you've seen.
Pass.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I know. I'm sorry. I listened to Disturbed a little bit.
Okay. Good job. If I could reach over and pat your head, I would.
I got like, that's what I got there.
You got down with the sickness. Good
I
job.
got down with the sickness before playing paintball when I was in high school. That was a pre-game song. All right, moving along.
Sickness. God, you don't need to be more jacked up. What the hell?
Yeah. For The Walking Dead. I know that you guys may not care about The Walking Dead, but the spinoff, Those Who Live, is going to be airing soon. And I personally am kind of excited, but I also know a lot of the longtime Walking Dead fans are excited for this. So if you watched Walking Dead, it looks like there's another spin. I think there's only like 2 or 3 spinoffs, but this spinoff actually looks well done. Well, I think the word is that it was supposed to be a television thing that happened, but there's enough demand to do an entire series. So let's see how that goes. Oh, and this is really relevant. I mean, this is mainly 40K focused. Did you guys see the Henry Cavill interview recently? Did you guys see? Yeah, okay. Nicky D's not. Nicky, I'm going to let you take it, man. This is. Do you know the exact wording that he said? The key word is, what did he say?
Let me pull up the exact wording of it because I don't want to paraphrase.
Don't paraphrase, but you pull it up. Guys, Nicky Dee was recently being interviewed. He happened to talk a little bit about Nicky Dee. Sorry, Henry Cavill, Superman himself, The Witcher himself, was being interviewed recently regarding the upcoming Warhammer, I guess, made for screen product that's going to be coming out in the future. And he said something.
Sorry, that was the worst way I've heard anyone ever describe a TV series.
Well, we're not
made for screen product.
Is it
series?
I'm not sure if it's a movie series. Do we know if it's a movie?
It's been announced by Amazon. It's a TV series, and you're like made for screen product.
Okay, so TV series. He was announcing, and we all know that Henry Cavill plays 40K, but we didn't realize how much he loved 40K. So Seth, Nicky Dee, what did he say in regards to this?
All right, I've got the exact quote. I think this was part of his press tour as it relates to the movie Argyle that he was doing, which I saw it this weekend. Just wait for his 40K stuff. Anyway, the quote
on streaming.
Yeah. Wait for streaming. It's fine. Anyways, the quote: "It is the greatest privilege of my professional career to have this opportunity."
I mean, think about that, guys. This guy was freaking Superman. All right, Superman's a far larger property. The Witcher, he had a lot of passion for, but this is his greatest privilege. Yes. So look at it, getting exciting, right? Goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. So I obviously there's no date announced for the release of the series, but I think everyone is very, very excited, including Henry Cavill himself. Okay, Seth, should we jump into the main segment now? Is it time for that? It's time for that. Take it away, Seth.
So tonight we kind of wanted to take a chance to talk about the road ahead for 40K. Now, this is the roadmap that GW put out earlier in the year. We've just passed Dark Angels. We know that's coming. We've had the limited edition box set out in the wild now. So the next 3 on that map is Orcs, Custodes, and Tau. Chaos Space Marines on there, but I don't like Chaos Space Marines. We're not talking about them tonight. Sorry, guys.
Screw them.
So I thought it would be interesting to talk about what do we think these armies need model-wise, and we know what their rules are. We've seen them. They've been out as indexes now for close to 8 months. What do we think they need to see in terms of a rules update? What are these codexes deficient in? So, Kicker, I'm gonna leave Tau mostly for you. I'll do Orcs, but I wanted to start off. So it looks like maybe Tau's coming first in the lineup because of the LVO previews and now these CRoOT Hound previews.
So and Seth, let's be clear, you and I do not know this, but based purely off of the releases that are publicly available, it does seem that way. But guys, remember, please use salt here. Guys, like, who knows? We could get ambushed by orcs. I mean, there could be commandos in hiding
My
right
God,
there.
that would be amazing.
No, they could just be waiting to ambush us. So it does look like Tau hopefully gets the
Yeah.
hopefully.
But
Orcs, yeah.
let's start off with the one that neither one of us are particularly passionate about,
Yeah,
and I
let's
don't
do
think
that.
Nicky Dee is particularly passionate about.
And they've also kicked my
Custodes.
ass 2 games in a row recently. So yeah, Custodes. Let's talk about them.
So actually, I kind of phoned a friend on this one and is talking with a friend of the show, Jeremy Atkinson from Stat Check. He's also one of our judges for the LVO, and I was kind of like, what do they need model wise? And he pointed out something important. The Custodes army doesn't have a centerpiece model.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have some big Primarch or any big,
Yeah, and
battle
then we
wagon
started
thing,
kind of spitballing. How do you get like a Primarch stature thing into Custodes? Because they are a super soldier. They are bigger than a Marine, but they are very clearly in the lore smaller than a Primarch. So
It's
we were
the
kind of
Emperor. That's the answer. It's the Emperor. That is their
that would be insane.
Okay.
And I would love it.
Okay.
But I was thinking like maybe what if you like had like a modified like dreadnought armor, sort of like
Ooh.
the Nemesis Dreadnought is probably a little too big, but if you modified it in something like that where you put like Trajan in like a dreadnought, he's not dead, but make him a bit bigger and beefier, sort of like Morinval from Sisters.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. We also were talking and realized that their jump troops kicker, the Vitari, are strictly forge rolled, and it's for a while now. They've been doing this where they're taking forge rolled products and making them plastic kits.
Okay, quick. Nicky Dee in the background. Go onto Forge World right now and see if they're out of stock or unavailable. The Forge World Vitari.
That's the tip if they're out.
Yeah, right.
So he was pointing that out, and I was like, oh, that would be good. And then we thought about they probably need a character that can lead them.
Yes, there we go.
Some sort of jump pack character. And then the last thing, they don't actually have their own unique transports.
You're right, they don't.
They have land raiders, and then they have rhinos for their sisters.
Yeah.
So some sort of transport model that would go a big step in flexibility for that army. So I think those are kind of the models I would be excited to see. If we look back, they haven't really gotten much in the way of new ranges for Custodes since they've been released. I think 9th edition, they maybe got 1 or 2 characters in their 9th release. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to see a bigger range refresh. And they did preview some, along with that shadowy orc, a shadowy possible Custodes model.
Yeah. Nicky Dee, what was your findings? What are we finding?
So if you go, and actually, I don't even need to go to the Forge World site because the new Games Workshop site, everything is integrated.
Of course, yeah.
But yes, Vitari, they come in sets of 3. They're resin models, and they sell for $78 US, but you can buy them now.
Okay, you can still buy them. All right, interesting. Okay, you can still buy them. So, all right, Seth. Well, we will see. Real fast, one model, or do you think we're gonna get like the CRoOT that we're gonna, or the Tau kind of, love, where it's a whole big box of brand.
So that's tough because I think if I'm guessing, and I know nothing about GW production, but generally speaking, you don't see one codex get a bunch of stuff, and then the next codex get a bunch of stuff, and the codex after that get a bunch of stuff. It's like one codex get a big release, and the next codex might get just 1 or 2 models.
Yeah,
and that's probably from a design and a production standpoint. They can't constantly be adding tons and tons of stuff to every army's range. So someone here in these 3 is probably like Dark Angel's got new Terminators.
Yeah,
they got the new Inner Circle Brethren.
Yes.
They've got like Asmodai. They got new Belial. So they got a pretty decent range refresh. We know Tau seems to be getting a pretty decent CRoOT range refresh based off what we've seen from these Hounds and the LVO. Someone in between Custodes and Orcs ain't going to get a whole lot.
Well, think about it. Orcs got a huge refresh, like less than a year ago, like a year ago. Like they have all the squig, whatever, the beast snaggle. What are they called? What's the
beast snaggers? So they got a big beast snagger range. So
I certainly orcs. Yeah, no,
I think orcs could be on the lower end of the release. KRoOT points out, the last time they did Custodes, they got just the Blade Champion. That was it.
Okay, so let's remove orcs from the and we know.
I think there's certainly they've previewed some sort of mech model.
Okay.
That shadowy thing looks like he's basically if I'm guessing based on what I know about the orc range, it looks to be a mech size body holding what appears to be the gun from a tractor cannon from the mech gun kit.
So let's
So
assume orcs are going to get one big model, or do you think? Give me like a 20% that they're going to get more than one model. Like,
what
do you think it's 50%?
I think they'll get more than one model.
Okay,
I'd say
cool.
50%. Now, the one model I just was like spitballing and dreaming that I think would be hilarious.
All
And
right.
if you haven't designed this model, GW, call me. I would love to help you with this one. What if there was like an orc beast snag like glider? Like it was like they captured some basically like pterodactyl. They're gliding around on it, and it's got a giant net underneath that they drop on the enemy unit to
Perfect.
snag them, and then they jump on them and beat them up.
No, love it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all about that, and I want to see it.
let's go into production
Um,
immediately. Beautiful. I
yeah,
love it.
but if you're looking for other things they could do, their Squigoth models would fit great in the Beast Snagger range, but those have always been resin forge rolled models. They're older kits, so I could certainly see them doing a refresh of those in a plastic kit, like a big surly looking Squigoth. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. So,
And a Squigoth, like if you get the chassis, the mount itself, you can easily make it into like an aggressive, gun platform or a
yeah,
transport, just like
definitely.
the kill wagon or the beast, whatever the hell it
Yeah.
is. The new one.
Now, kicker.
Yeah.
This is where we come to you. Now, we've seen some CRoOT stuff, but what else do you think that if you were continuing to dream of your future Tau army, what else could be happening?
So we do know there's at least one, maybe more CRoOT models that are on the horizon. We had that, that nice shadowy figure that looks like a CRoOT riding something. So we know we're going to get something else. I think we're getting a lot right now. But you said something that I guess Jeremy said something, but you mentioned it was the centerpiece. I think the CRoOT really do need one big bad guy, right? Like, or one big awesome epic centerpiece model, or at least something that if you wanted to run a full CRoOT army, you have something with teeth, like some sort of real damage dealer. So, a lot of people
Like
would
a
ask
Narlock?
the Narlock, right? I think there's a Narlock, but there's a greater Narlock, which is the big one. I think we really need that big platform that can do either a lot of damage in melee or a lot of damage in shooting, but we just need that one big model that you put in the middle of your CRoOT army, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and it's actually going to do a lot of damage. Like, maybe they have like a really really greater Narlock that's like a Titan sized model, and it just goes in and looks awesome. And
greater Narlock.
I don't know, like a great and daddy Narlock. I don't know what the hell we call it, but I don't think we're going to get. Man, I think we're going to get that one more model that's released, and maybe the centerpiece thing, whether it's a greater Narlock or something. But I think that's it. I don't think we're going to get too much more. And if I was going to put money in it, I don't think Tau are going to get anything. Like, you're getting so much like Tau as in traditional Tau blue skin Crisis Battlesuit guys. I don't think we're going to get anything for them. I think it's going to be just the CRoOT for this round.
There's some older models they might update in them or retire depending on the kit. Like the sniper drone with the marker fire sight marks, and that's an old Finecast kit, and they've definitely been trying to get away from those kind of things. Now, in terms of ideas for new models, and again, GW, call me. Kicker.
Yeah.
We know that the CRoOT from the war were able to construct their own vehicles. They have war spheres. We have not seen a CRoOT vehicle on the table.
No, man, I think I don't think it's happening. I don't.
But follow me here. Follow me here. We've seen riders.
Yeah, we've seen
riders in the previews. What if there was a little like hovercraft towed by the little
wagon, like artillery piece or something that they
or just a transport?
Your transport. I mean, I could kind of see it, but I really would not put money on it. I don't think that they're going to have.
I think give you more things for your CRoOT army. Go with it, idea.
Okay, no, I would like more things for my CRoOT army, but I have a hard time believing that they're going to give. Maybe say they do a greater Narlock. That greater Narlock, like we're talking about the Squigoth, has multiple build options. One can be a weapon platform. The other can be a transport option.
Yeah.
I could see that. The other thing that badly needs to get redone, which I know they're not CRoOT, but is the Vespids, the flying,
I am an unfortunate gentleman that owns 20 Vespids. So,
wow. I mean, it just we need that cheap drop troop, jump troop. So
why not flying CRoOT?
I see those coming before some sort of a vehicle that the CRoOT use. So, all right, Seth, let's talk about rules. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We got models out of the way. Let's talk about rules.
So, Custodes, to me, the biggest issue with that army is it was always a difficult army to list right with before. because there was only so much you could change on an individual model when we paid for individual war gear items. Now that we can't pay for individual war gear items, and a lot of our units are now locked to the size of the boxes that we sell, it's become a lot more difficult to see options in list building because the points are so big for each model, because each model is so elite. It's so I think we need to find a way to introduce some flexibility in how that army is built, whether that be some more flexibility in squad sizes, or more flexibility in what the guy in the armor represents. And I say that because all Custodes are not created equal, Kicker.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
What is it, like veterans or something?
Well, each time they all add a name after each
Oh,
battle. So
okay.
I think it would be cool if maybe if you have a basic custodian guard and then veteran custodian guard maybe cost a little bit more.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
get a little bit of a profile
Oh,
upgrade.
sort of like they did with orcs at one point. Like you had a hard boys, like armored up
Yeah,
orcs.
but you could have so they don't have to produce a new model, but they
Yeah.
could be like, this is the initiate
That's
level
creative.
dude.
Okay,
He's
I like it.
cheap.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's been around for 200 years.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still in the same role. He's still a custodian guard with the same basic war gear. He's got a little bit better stat line, but he's going to cost you more points.
You
So
can't make him have that much better of a stat line. They're already really, really good.
But you
Maybe
know
give
what I
him an
mean?
extra
Like
wound.
maybe he's getting extra attack, or
Yeah.
maybe he gets a pip better of
Dude,
weapons.
an extra wound though would be really solid,
Yeah,
right?
just
Like that.
little things like that where you could just and it might I have no concept of exact what points it would be, but you could do little things like that to provide a little bit of variability so that if you're trying to figure out how to squeeze in that last 100 points in your list, you're like, well, I can't afford a whole veteran squad of guardians, but maybe I can get a small squad of initiate
Okay,
custodian guardians.
hear me out. From my understanding, that trying to like help you maximize your point use, right? So you don't have these like remainder points, leftover points.
Yeah.
That's where enhancements were
Mhm.
really supposed to come in, or there's like updated, like so maybe instead of giving you, I think you get 4 right now or 5,
Yeah,
maybe give you 20 or something like that. Or no,
that would be another great idea because I mean, who thematically should have the most enhancements?
exactly, Custodes.
So maybe they open up and say, hey, this army gets to have more enhancements per army than others, and you have a bunch more options so you can fill in. Maybe give them the option to, like, was it ninth edition? There was a rule for Space Marines where they had a stratagem when they could give squad leaders
Yes,
basically relics. So
yeah.
you could do something like that and say, okay, your
I like
squad leaders and your custodian guardians can take enhancements, and there's a separate enhancement list for them that's also so they can again have some more points flexibility.
I like that. All right, let's talk about orcs, Seth. I mean, you this is I'm expecting you to drop your damn robots to the side as soon as the orcs.
Yes,
Right,
that's exactly why I'm playing the Necrons right now,
it's
because I'm
prime
like,
time.
I'm sure in some point in the spring, based off the screen we see over here, they're going to be dropping an orc codex, and then I'm going to immediately shove all other armies to the side and play nothing but orcs for a while. And I was like, man, if I could play orcs for Cherokee, but I was like, but then when am I going to play this Necron army that I now have before the orcs come out? So I was like, I better play the Necrons now. So, anyways,
Okay, Seth, give me your like hopes and dreams and what you really, really hope, but also give me what you think is realistic.
okay. I mean, my hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
It's a rewrite of the buggy rules.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Buggies are just they all took a points cut in the recent bounce lead up slate, but their profiles are all just so lackluster for the most part that you like. I understand we don't want to go back to the freebooters buggy spam blowing Sean Naden off the table in 2 turns era. I get that. Okay. You look at me, you hear me, internet. I understand. I don't want to re-traumatize you like that. But I have buggies. I love buggies. I love Speedwall. I would like to have a reason to put them on the table. And right now, a bunch of guys that have AP1 guns that hit on 5s is not a reason to put them on the
And
table.
their base is so low. The buggies, I don't understand why
Yeah,
their base is so obnoxiously
so
large. That
big.
makes
Yeah. So they just need some tweak. That would be my dream, is seeing a tweak on them. Things I think are more realistic. That as a whole, the orc army struggles with AP. And there hasn't been any in mechanics in the index to really improve your AP. So if you're the basic orc boy with the choppa and you're AP1, you're excited until you find a thing called a Space Marine, and they use a rule called Armor of Contempt, and then your choppa is a stick, and you're just like, oh, son of a, this doesn't do anything. So yeah, it's just some way to get some better AP so that when you hit with that wog turn that you are able to actually do some damage. I would love to see some kind of tweaks to the wog mechanic. I really think it's a bad decision to have it be start of battle round rather than start of your turn, because it just tells your opponent what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if I'm going second against you, kicker, and I wog in the start of the turn, you literally just take your tape measure out and measure maximum threat distance from my entire army and go, okay, I'm going to stay out of charge range this turn. Have fun.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels real bad. So give us some change there. And then the one model that I love and I have tons of, and just this literal like garbage tier, is the Luda, because they gave them BS6
What?
with AP1 guns. And I'm like, that's cool. It's strength 8, neg 1, 2 damage, BS6. And I'm just like, come on, guys. BS6, like, if I sit still, I'll get the heavy bonus and hit on 5s. Oh, wait, I shot you and you have a rule for -1. I'm back to 6s.
Yeah, that's pretty
So it just doesn't have the volume that. So I just want to see them get a little bit of love, because honestly, I think orcs just need to have some reliable shooting. It doesn't have to be oppressive. I just want something beside. I love my flash guns, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I just want something that, like, if you have a transport that I have a reasonable chance of killing before I go punch things, that would be nice.
You said it best, though. Your army needs reliable shooting. Orcs need reliable shooting. I think every army needs a little bit of both.
Just a little bit.
You just need a little bit. So we're going to talk about Tau. They just need a little bit of a counterpunching for close combat. They need something. It's to keep your opponent honest. It's to keep there's something like guard. Like they gave them the Rough Riders. You know, hopefully they're going to be a nice
Bulgren.
They gave them Bulgren. So they have something. It's not very good, but at least it's something.
And I think Bulgren are a great example, because I think for Tau, you don't need to give them some ultra killy combat unit.
You just got to give them something.
But if you give them something like Bulgren, where it's just like, this is a meat shield that can stand there and get punched for a few turns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so just give me some like close combat suits that are all decked out in invulns,
or the new Rampagers, the new CRoOT that they showed that are riding like the close combat melee, whatever. The new models they showed, those hopefully can be the equivalent of Bulgren or maybe even Rough Riders, where at least they can
something
do
where they can take a
melee
punch for a few turns. So it gives you time it gives you some play when that World Eaters army is just like running across the table at you. You're like, just go stand there and hold them up for a turn while I figure out what I'm doing.
So my thinking is that Tau, will hopefully get rules that will provide that close in the form of the CRoOT. The new CRoOT models will ideally provide, some sort of close combat punch as well as absorption, like they can take a punch, and also be a screen, right? Just use the CRoOT as a basic screen. So that's kind of the hope. Seth, though, you know more about the rest of the Tau, the blue skin guys. Anything of interest or desire for their rules?
I think there's two main things that they need to clean up with the army, and I think it's honestly going to be in a good spot. They made the decision to make all of the battle suits, short of the stealth suits, the vehicle keyword.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people that play Tau, and if you play Tau and you take crisis suits, because they are kind of the backbone of that list, you basically just automatically write down a 20 for bring it down for your opponent. Yeah. You're just like, yep, cool. You're going to get, I have heard of Tau games where they have been using the cyclic ions, which are hazardous, where they have maxed bring it down for their opponent.
Yeah, I believe it.
By just killing their own suits. And so I think they like, at least, I understand the big suits, the Ghost Keel, the Riptides, the Storm Surges, keep those vehicles. But for those large blob units like crisis suits, I think they just need a different keyword, like make them mounted or something.
They make them walker, like sentinels or something.
But like they could anything where they just lose that vehicle keyword, give them something else, so that we're not giving up a bajillion bring it down points. So there is at least a little bit of play in secondary choice there. And then the spotter system is just like, I don't know that I can clearly explain to you the spotter system today. And that is having played with Tau and against Tau now for 8 months. And I just don't like, I get that they were trying to change the marker light system to something else. And so they chose the spotter system. And I think it just needs to be cleaned up. Like if there's going to be a spotter unit, it just needs to be like, this unit is a spotter. It is an action it performs at the start of the shooting phase. It provides this benefit, and X number of units can benefit from that. And if you're a spotter, you can't do anything else. You sit there and you're a spotter. That's
all you do. Yeah.
They just some way to make that easier for everyone to understand, so that there's less confusion at the table. There's less confusion for your opponent, for you, everyone. So I think clean that up. And I liked old marker lights. I thought they were fun.
GW's done a really good job, right, of cleaning up the rules and making it, easier to
Yeah.
understand. So let's hopefully get that for the Tao's core rule there.
I mean, like they've done other armies with complex systems, like T-Suns have the Cabal point system,
Yeah.
but it basically just like you generate X amount of points and then you get this special list over here. And I'm like, so just do that. Just do like, hey, I have X number of marker lights in my army. They can see this unit, therefore it has Y number of marker light points on it. And I go to this chart and I can do something off the chart.
Easy peasy.
But yeah,
And
just
was it ninth? Was it ninth edition where people that played Tau would put the little red icons that you were tagged? Yeah, like I like that. That was cool. It's kind of like
it was easy.
tokens.
They spent them as they did things, and you were like, "Yep, cool. I understand what's happening."
You're tagged. It was easy.
Yeah. So I think just clean that up and make that it's a full rewrite, I think is probably appropriate. But even if they don't want to do that, just make it a simpler system for everyone to approach.
We're gonna jump into the frontline entertainment news, but while we're talking about that, chat, tell us what rules you think, and if Seth really likes them, we'll bring up your rules.
If
as
Seth
well.
really likes them, he will petition GW to listen to you.
And
Even though Seth has absolutely no pull with GW, but he will do it anyway.
I will bring him up in the next conference call I have with them. So.
Got it.
Seriously though, if you're in chat, tell us what rules you hope we get for Custodes, Orcs, or Tau. All right.
But back to our friends over at the entertainment side of things. Our friends over at Fury's Finest, which is our MCP audio only podcast. They're doing, I thought this was a really cool idea for their episode concepts. Deep dive into the lore of the Hulk.
Okay, cool.
All the comics and stuff. And then how to play him on the tabletop for MCP. All of his stats, his tactic and strategies, how he fits in your roster, all that jazz. So I thought that was really cool. A way to do it. So you kind of get both the nerd, story side of things, the lore side of things, and the crunch on the tabletop.
I like
that
that.
was really cool. Our friends at Squadcast have a few guys over to talk about Compendium Kill Team, which is a different version of Kill Team. So I was excited to hear about that. And then our buddies over at the Professional Casual Network, they have gotten back into doing their YouTube series where they're doing their AOS narrative campaign. I know a lot of folks that have gotten into AOS and they love it. And it's just kind of more of a lower degree of tactical crunch to it. So narrative campaigns, casual games for me, that's like right where AOS is like in its sweet spot. So excited to see that. Sweet. All right, let's hop on over to the Frontline Gaming community highlights. Remember, every Wednesday, myself or Adam Peterson is up there posting, asking us to show you your models, but post them up throughout the week whenever you want to. And we'll select some of our favorites and show them here. Our first one up is Dustin Weaver working on his Screamer Killer. And there seems to be a Nicky Dee editorial.
All right, folks. If you're, I'm going to try to describe this. For
our audio listeners,
if you're listening, but you should be watching the show. I want to know from Dustin: is this a Barbie themed Tyranids army?
I was thinking like cotton candy bubblegum.
It could be because it's like hot pink, but then you got some of the blues, I don't know what kind of turquoise blue. It definitely could fit for cotton candy. But having just watched Barbie a couple of weeks ago, like this definitely fits with that color scheme.
I mean, I hope he names that Screamer Killer Barbie. Like Barbie's charging now. Just geez, I love it.
But if the whole army's like that, then they're all Barbie.
They're all Barbie. It's okay. It's okay.
Right. I mean, isn't that the movie?
That is basically okay. Fair enough. All right. Up next, we have Alex Tremonto with his Blood Angels Centurion Devastator, which for those lore guys at home, remember that Blood Angels, their Devastators have blue helmets.
Wow. So this is super lore accurate.
Yeah. Now, he said this is before he's done his washes. This is kind of his base coating, so it looks pretty good.
Jeez. So why is it a blue helmet? I'm sorry, I'm not super into the Blood Angels lore, or I guess Space Marine lore. Why blue?
Don't ask me. That was just that's how that chapter operates. Is their Devastator units get blue helmets?
Oh, Nicky Dee.
Okay, if we're going off of old Force Org charts, blue or heavy support would have blue helmets. Anything that was like a fast attack roll would have a yellow helmet. So this would be like your assault squads, that sort of thing. Most of your normal troops would have the classic red helmets, and then veterans like that because they're veterans, they could kind of do what they want. So there's could be gold.
They could have Barbie themed helmets.
They could. Yeah.
Yep. All right, now this one's for Kicker. Up next, Nathan Sims did some earthy themed Sentinels.
They're so sexy.
And I was personally offended today when I saw these posted, Kicker. You know what?
Wait, why?
You immediately were up there posting and commenting on his models,
Yeah.
but I posted earlier and you didn't say crap.
I'm so sorry, Seth. The earthy tones, they just drew me in. The thing is that to do an earthy tone is fine. Everyone does it, but he really weathered this really just it's beautiful, and I want to copy that paint recipe. So I've already hit him up saying like, okay, what was the exact paint formula you used here?
Nathan, don't give it to him, please.
Tell me.
This man needs to get outside of his earth tones.
No, I really like this paint job. So yeah, it's gorgeous.
All right, and last up, our good buddy JC Watts working on his Bloody Celestine. He actually was sending me some pictures of this earlier. I wanted to give a shout out to JC. He is getting ready to run, not this weekend, but next weekend is his third annual Battle to End Alzheimer's. It's a charity event that he is running right now. He is close to about 100 attendees. We were talking 106 would be the record for Maryland. So he really wants to get over that. So please attend. If you're in the area, check them out. They're on the way to hitting $50,000 raised for Alzheimer's research, which is amazing across the series. They also have an AOS version of the event that runs next month. So if you're an AOS player, check them out there. But always a good group. The team that they're with, Legion of Extraordinary Mad Gentlemen, Nicky Dee is a member of. I was a founding member of that team. So there's we know a lot of the guys there. They're a good crew. They come to a lot of the events. So really excited to see them do this and really want to support them. And of course, give a shout out for some amazing paint that we got going on here from JC.
Hey, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you get a Hobby Goblins produced painted chainsword if you win this event?
Yes. Hobby Goblins is painting the chainsword trophy. And actually, JC's in chat and just said that they hit 107 today.
Oh, wow.
So officially the largest event in Maryland, which is pretty darn cool.
And room for 13 more still. So between now and next Saturday when I'm there at the store for that event myself, I will be there. Yes,
You're looking at the eventual winner right there, everyone.
There we go.
Not me. No, not me. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be running here.
It's you.
But,
you're not running your Cherokee list at this event to practice for No.
He doesn't want to reveal his Cherokee list yet.
I might. The difficulty is I'm trying to work on Necrons and see if I can get them ready. I'm also doing a tournament this weekend, but I might run. I might run
3 weekends in a row.
What the hell, dude?
Yes. I actually do have 3 weekends in a row of 40K. So a trios tournament this weekend.
I'm so jealous.
Battle to End Alzheimer's, so 2-day event, and then Cherokee, which I'm leaving for like 4 days afterwards. So, and I may run 3 different armies at all 3 events.
That's amazing.
We'll see.
That's amazing. That's dedication, people. We should all strive to be just like him. Oh, Nick.
All right. Well, final thoughts for the night, gentlemen. Kicker, any final thoughts?
I just want to say happy Mardi Gras, y'all. This is Mardi Gras right now. I don't know if you heard the random noise in the background. We were trying our hardest to silence it, but I am on the parade route. You can't stop Mardi Gras. Yeah, it is. It's a bit wild here. But Mardi Gras is on Tuesday of next week, and I will be here Wednesday. I might be a little phased, but I'm excited to see you guys after Mardi Gras.
All right. Nicky Dee, final thoughts?
If you're at one of the events that I'm going to be the next 3 weekends, whether that's at the Trios event at your hobby place in Virginia this weekend, Battle to End Alzheimer's in Maryland next weekend, or Cherokee, come say hello. I will be the guy that's wearing either flannel or my Legion jersey, because I'm actually
we're going to get you a flannel Legion jersey. That's
I've already formally put in that request.
Okay, good.
So, but come and say hello. Look forward to meeting everybody that's there, and I will be playing one of 3 armies between Necrons, Blood Angels, or Chaos Demons. So we'll find out.
Boy. Well, for me, I'm just going to get back to painting Necrons. I think I'm actually off next week for Valentine's Day with the wife. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Signals from the Frontline. Have a great week, and stay tuned for a special video that we have at the end of the show. For audio listeners, this is the end, but for video listeners, check it out. Night, y'all.
Good night.
Great LVO, like always. Just the sheer amount of people that you see here. I mean, 1,000 guys all with the same passion coming in, enjoying 40K is great.
LVO is amazing. Come every year, like literally every year. It's the tournament I don't miss. All my friends are here. We have a good time. Even if you lose, you're still in Vegas. Not so bad.
It's the biggest event of this kind in the world, and it's the guys that run it do an amazing job. FLG always puts on good events.
So many people, and especially on day one, they come in with big smiles. By day two, I think they're going to be a little exhausted.
Oh, this is so fun. Like, this is my first time here, but I'm just having a blast.
Everyone's so nice here, and it's just that atmosphere that they create is just amazing.
It's so much fun right now. There's so many different armies and great pairings going on right now. It's awesome.
I love the variety of games they have here. They have so many cool setup booths, so many great merchandise here. Feels like one of those very exclusive events. If you're here, you're gonna have a great time.
It is an awesome time watching everybody come together from all across the world.
The best thing is that because you've got 2.5 to 3 hours in each game, you have an opportunity to make a friend with that person because they've gone through everything that you have to be at events like these.
What I like best about LVO is the amount of people who you're playing.
You can just walk the halls and just see cool stuff. I mean, I'm blown away each year when I walk down the hall. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And then this year's even cooler. The 30K Mega Battle this year is insane. I mean, just you're talking about Warlord Titans and armies of tanks. I mean, blows me out of the park.
So it's the best chance to see all the beautiful armies that people make across the year.
But I love the class of the people, like come to the tournaments. Very nice people, never had a problem.
Oh, it's a great time. It's Vegas, can't beat it. Last year was my first year, so I had to do it again. Probably going to be a lifelong attendee.
Lost pretty bad the first round, but I'm having a great time, so it doesn't matter.
I just wanted to thank you all for a wonderful Las Vegas Open 2024. What an incredible weekend, and we couldn't have done it without the beautiful and amazing community that we have. Thank you all so much.